Small, cheap sports cars are dead, but there's one car that's still carrying the torch. This one. Manufacturers aren't building small, cheap sports cars anymore, and it's really getting me down. That's because the first thing I'd do if I came into a little bit of money would be to rush out and buy myself a fun toy for the weekend. The trouble is, your options have basically evaporated. Say you've got a decent budget of about £30,000 to spend. The only new cars you can afford are the most basic version of the Caterham 7 or this, the Mazda MX-5. And considering you can only use the Caterham for about 2 days in the middle of June, I reckon this is probably the better buy. Keep watching to find out why. American petrolheads call the MX-5 the Miata, and they reckon the letters in that badge stand for Miata is always the answer. Supposedly this is the ideal car for anybody who wants to enjoy driving on a tight budget. I've always been skeptical though, because I grew up in the heyday of the cheap hot hatch, and I'd laugh every time one of my mates romped away from a brand new MX-5 in a 10 grand Focus ST or Vauxhall Astra GSI. MX-5s were always a bit of a joke. I've spent a couple of weeks with the car now, and I'm starting to get it. So the MX-5 isn't about performance figures, it's about the sensations of performance. And they're two very different things. But once you wrap your head around it, it makes perfect sense. The MX-5 is a slow car that feels like an incredibly fast car because of how playful the chassis is, how often you need to change gear to keep the engine on the boil, and how eager the engine is to be thrashed. You can absolutely batter this 2-litre engine like it owes you money. But because it's only got 184 horsepower, you're barely breaking the national speed limit by the time you hit the top of third. Plus, because your arse cheeks are basically scraping along the tarmac, you feel like you're doing a million everywhere. It's brilliant. It means you can use more of the throttle more of the time, which makes it feel like you're racing about like your hair's on fire, even though you're only just managing to keep up with traffic. And that is fun. Hilarious fun, in fact. This manual gearbox is fantastic as well. It's so rare to find a good manual these days, but this thing's notchy, it's precise, and to get it from second to third, you've really got to chuck your shoulder into it. It's so nice to be back in something mechanical again. Oh, I'm in love. I want one. The steering's incredible as well. Almost every manufacturer these days is trying to shield its drivers from the road surface, but this little MX-5 is telling me everything that's going on underneath the front tyres. Camber changes, bumps, divots, the occasional stray rock. It's all there. The MX-5 is brilliant fun, and to prove just how fun, I'm going to take it somewhere quite special. Anglesey Circuit. It's probably one of the scariest tracks in the UK because it's situated on the sea at the top of a cliff. That means if you mess it up, you're steaming straight off the track, through the Armco and into the drink. I'm here to prove a point. Normally, track days on circuits like these are populated by finance bros in leased Porsche 911s. So I'm keen to find out whether I can have just as much fun as those blokes in a car with a quarter of the horsepower. What could possibly go wrong? First ever track day, and just before I left the pit lane, like a roach, just before I left the pit lane, Mazda's head mechanic came over to me and said, just be careful at the end of the main straight, the brakes aren't quite up to the job, which is reassuring. This is an incredibly fast track as well. Oh, I really need to concentrate because I can't talk and drive. I can do one or the other, I'm afraid. Right, be smooth. Be smooth, smooth is fast. You're in third. Brake, 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 brake. Into that. Let this faster Porsche pass because he's going to absolutely do us on the straight here. Go on, son. That's fifth. That's the fastest I've been through here. Oh, God, I'm scared. Got another MX-5 that he's absolutely hossing it. That's fine, that's a fourth gear corner, that's big. That's big and scary. That's really scary. We're still in fourth. We're gonna do fifth. Right, this is the biggest one we've come into this, biggest we've come into this corner at. It will stick. I just need to trust it. I don't trust it and I don't trust myself. I think I'm gonna go in. I think I've edged my bets enough. We'll go in, we'll give the brakes a rest. Because, Jesus Christ, this is a fast track. I'm by no means qualified. This is the first time I've ever done this. And I'm out on track with bloody Porsche 911 GT3 RSs, turbocharged Mazda MX-5s with full aero kits. I mean, it's mental. I'm way out of my depth. Massively out of my depth. Jesus! I'm so far out of my depth, it's not even funny. It's great fun, but I'm in everyone's way. I'm holding up all the whales. As you can see, I made it out of Anglesey alive, and I think I've proved the point that the MX-5 is an absolute riot. Just before I wrap things up though, I want to take a moment to look around its interior. If more cars were built like this, I'd complain a lot less. Build quality is impeccable, you get traditional dials for the air conditioning and a brilliant rotary controller on the center console that lets you adjust stuff on the screen without taking your eyes off the road. It's an ergonomic masterclass. These Recaro seats are fantastic as well, so they're comfortable on a long journey, yet they're supportive enough when you're smashing around a racetrack. They've also got some fantastic heaters in them, which means you can drive all year round with the roof off. These ones aren't quite as pristine as they were before my track day, but we'll gloss over the brownstones. Yeah, it's not very practical, but who cares? There's just enough space in the boot for a weekend's worth of luggage, and just enough cubbies in here to stop your keys and your phone from flinging about on your favourite B-road. You even get cup holders. If you want any more from a car like this, you're just being greedy, frankly. On to the finances, and I'm afraid I've got a little bit of a confession to make. You can't actually get this particular MX-5 for £30,000. That's because it's a top-spec RF model that's fitted with loads of extras like BBS alloy wheels, Bilstein dampers, fancy Recaro seats, and Mazda's punchiest 184 horsepower 2-litre petrol engine. All those trinkets jack the price up past 38 grand. However, if you go for the entry-level soft-top MX-5 with Mazda's smallest 1.5-litre engine, you'll only need to spend about £28,000. And if you're prepared to shop on the used market, you'll save even more money. We've got a healthy stock of cars in the Parker's Classifieds, and I guarantee there'll be one for sale in your county. This version of the MX-5 has been on sale since 2015, and they're everywhere, which is the beauty of them. If it was my money, I'd aim for the middle of the model range. I want the 2-litre engine because the extra power is fun, but I'm not that interested in the folding metal hardtop because it adds 170 kilograms to the car's curb weight and £2 grand to the price. The sweet spot in the range, if you're buying new, is the middling exclusive line model. At the time of filming, the 2-litre version cost around £33,000. For that, you get 17-inch alloys, a surprisingly powerful Bose stereo, and leather seats. If you're buying used, get the best spec and the best service history you can for the least amount of money. And for the love of God, don't buy the car in the summer, buy it in the winter when nobody wants a convertible and prices are cheaper. And also, don't be afraid to walk away if you're not going to get the deal that you want, because chances are there's going to be another one of these in the next postcode. The MX-5 basically occupies a class of one. Historic sports car rivals like the Alfa Romeo Spider, BMW Z3 and Honda S2000 are all long gone, and the similarly priced Caterham 7 is just that little bit too inconvenient to consider using every day. If you're looking for a fun, everyday car on a budget, this is the Zenith. No other new car in this price bracket can offer the petrolhead's holy trinity of front engine, manual gearbox, and rear-wheel drive. The stunning build quality and the fact you can get 35 mpg from it are just the icing on the cake. Much like my experience with the latest Mini Cooper S, I've gone from a skeptic to somewhat of a believer, especially once I started investigating the aftermarket modifications. Brands like BBR can bolt power onto your MX-5 with simple tweaks like exhausts, intakes, camshafts, and ECU tuning. You can easily get 200 horsepower and a lot more racket from Mazda's little 2-litre engine. For the first time in history, the Americans might have finally got something right. Maybe Miata is always the answer. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you fancy. And thanks for watching.